J-Man, it's RY BARRETT. So how you doing, man?
Good man, how you doing?
Good, just enjoying life, doing this Comic-Con.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for doing this interview.
yeah, for sure.
So congratulations on In a Violent Nature.
Oh, thanks, man. It's been a trip.
There was so much hype on this film. How did it feel having everyone talking about it?
It's crazy. It's surreal. I mean, like everyone who made the movie did not expect it to kind of blow up the way that it has. So we're just kind of sitting back, and a lot of people involved in it are big horror fans too, and big slasher genre fans. So just getting to like see people, connect with it and enjoy the gory, crazy kills in it. It's a lot of fun, and we just sit back and are like, holy shit, thank you.
So what is it like being a new face of horror?
Um, I don't. Well, I honestly, I don't know because I don't feel like I'm new face of horror at all. But I guess Johnny's mask is more of the recognizable thing. So I'm like, it's kind of nice too because I can kind of hide behind that a little bit when I want to. But it's cool to just be anywhere in the same vicinity of like all these great character actors and people who've played all these characters over the years too. To just be anywhere near that.
I heard you reshot about 70% of the movie. Is that true?
Yeah, so the team had shot most of the film ahead of time, but they had all these issues, weather, accidents, health issues, and stuff like that. That literally they had to shut down and kind of regroup. They did some recasting for some roles, and then I was brought back on, or I was brought on to the film for that, and then they kind of used it as a previs for ideas that they wanted to change things a little bit or focus more on something. So they use that as like a learning experience and then kind of amped everything up after that.
I heard there was several different masks. How did you guys end up with this one?
With this mask, so Chris Nash, he's the writer director. He designed this from a classic, an old school firefighter's mask. And so he just kind of did some tweaks and stuff to make it look a little better on screen. But he basically handmade this and designed it to look the way it looks. But it's inspired by an actual firefighter's mask.
Will there be a part two to the film?
The sequel has been greenlit. I'm just sitting back to wait for the script because that's the first most important part, and Nash is working on that right now. So we're just gonna sit back and wait to find out what crazy new shit that he's gonna have everybody doing. So we're just excited that it's gonna happen.
Are you going to stick with the franchise if there's going to be if this series is going to be something like continuous, like there's going to be like 7 movies?
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's still staying fresh and stays true to the nature of In a Violent Nature, I definitely want to be involved and play Johnny as much as possible. I mean, obviously, the idea itself is a bit of a flip of the script, and I know that they want to do that with upcoming sequels and just keep things fresh the whole time. So I'm just excited to see what that's going to be going forward with the franchise.
For whatever reason, they don't use the same guy for horror icons in each film. I mean, what is there like 7 Jasons alone for like some of those movies?
There's quite a few. There's I think it's got to be. Is there 7?
Yeah, like seven,
Yeah. There's quite a few, and like that's an interesting thing for one, just like for it being shot in the '80s, and like they hadn't. I feel like there haven't been a consistent killer in a franchise other than like Freddy came along and it was Robert Englund each time, and then after that, I feel like then they started to catch on to that fans do want to see a specific actor portray a character in a certain way, and then it started to lean that way. Kane Hodder was in a few in a row, and then like other actors have come back to play killers since then. So I love that, and I love seeing the consistency of that.
You gain about 15 pounds of muscle and bulk for his role in the film I Choose Chaos, and then went directly into preparation mode for his role in Never Lost, for which he lost 50 pounds and shot 2 months afterwards.
Yeah, that was a while ago, but I did a movie where I kind of bulked up a bit, just specifically for the character, and then the other film that I did after that, I dropped a bunch of weight, so I lost like 50 pounds, which was not fun. I don't recommend it to anybody, especially if you don't have like a nutritionist or like, and I could not afford anybody like that for that film. So I basically ate like I followed Christian Bale's diet that he did for The Machinist, not as extreme as him, and I didn't go as far as him. It didn't really call for that, but it sucked, I think it looked great in film.
What did you do to prepare for Violent Nature?
I just honestly I watched a whole lot of genre films, all the slasher films, and anything that would kind of slightly relate to like the nature aspect of that. Film Rituals was a big one, and then I watched a lot of animal attack videos, specifically like bear attack videos, just because there is an analogy to that, which is not supposed to be a direct analogy, but it just kind of felt right for Johnny because he kind of moves like an animal, and these people kind of enter his territory, and he's very smooth and moves like an animal, and then all of a sudden goes into a very vicious kind of switch over, changeover. So I kind of wanted to mimic how animals sort of do that a little bit of a way, just to kind of switch.
So you said a bear. Did you want to like mimic a bear killing their prey, like how a human like mauling them alive? Is that what you were going for?
A little bit, not necessarily like the way that they would attack and bite,
Nah,
but
of
like
course, like an actual bear.
yeah, but like that the movements how they like a bear is just walking through the woods and then when you see it attack something, it goes like full on and just is just the intensity and just the the fact that they turn into a killing machine basically
Yeah.
when that happens. So I just wanted to emulate that kind of switch over.
What would you like to see the character evolve to if you guys are making more movies?
What would I like to see Johnny do? I don't know, just go after more people who maybe deserve it. I'd like to see him. And I'm so looking forward to all the ideas that are going to come because I know Nash is. I mean, he created this. I'd love to see Johnny go after some like developers or something that just don't belong in nature. But I mean, I'm up for anything that he's going to get up to.
What is next for you?
The sequel, and then I have another film that we shot earlier this year with Collingwood Film Company called Turn It Up, which is a rock and roll horror comedy about a band that kind of finds a way to open up a portal to hell,
Okay.
and then it makes people go crazy and their brains explode and all that sort of thing. I shouldn't say too many spoilers, but that's the gist of it.
If you were on death row, what would be your final meal?
Final meal? Ooh. Probably surf and turf. Steak and a big lobster, and then all the extra stuff that would go with that.
If you got to choose your next project, what would it be and why?
You know what? Mike Flanagan and Stephen King are doing The Dark Tower, and if there's any way I could get into any role in that movie or that series, well, like whatever they do with it, that would be a dream. That would be an absolute dream.
All right, man, it's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for doing
Cheers.
this.
Yeah,
Man.
for sure. Cheers, guys.